What's up, Taiwan? I'm Tsai with news from here in Taiwan and around the world. Taiwan has officially announced its first registered candidate for the upcoming presidential election. Gov't reports.
Here at Taiwan's Central Election Commission, presidential hopeful Lai Ching-te is registering to get his name on the ballot for the January 2024 vote. Lai, of the ruling Democratic Progressive Party, is currently in the lead in the polls. He's the vice president of Taiwan, and he recently announced Xiaobi Kim, that's the former envoy to the US, as his running mate.
我们两人也代表了信赖台湾的国家方向。 地缘政治的变化，台湾的安全以及印太的和平，是国际瞩目的焦点。这一场选举，全世界都在看。
Lai's major rivals have not yet come here to register for the 2024 vote. In fact, they haven't yet decided who they're going to run with. They spent the last couple of weeks discussing forming a joint ticket against Lai, but have not come up with a way to work together. Registration here ends in just a few days, and if the opposition candidates don't get their act together, decide who they're going to run with, then Lai Ching-te might find himself running for the next president unopposed. Eason Chen and Rick Gov't in Taipei for TaiwanPlus.
Taiwan's health ministry is promising to lower the nurse-to-patient ratio in hospitals. A heavy patient load is one reason many nurses are quitting, but a solution won't come cheap. As Ansaliense reports, there's still no agreement on how to get the job done.
Lately, when Taiwan's nurses haven't been caring for patients, they've been on the streets protesting work conditions. The stress of the job got so bad during COVID-19 years that many of their colleagues quit. And those who've stayed on say they're more burnt out than ever. Taiwan's nurses don't have quite as heavy a workload as their peers in some other countries, but it's still the norm for a nurse here to be caring for over a dozen patients at once.
因为他们只在乎他们人事成本，他们只在乎他们有没有赚钱。你这样子危害病人的一个安全，然后危害我们的职业安全的时候，我们当然会觉得这是我们无法忍受的事情。
But the government's now pledging to change the situation.
护理团体代表跟 护师工会代表是达成共识，希望明年开始推动的时候，用目前可行的标准来订定。
The Health Ministry has set a deadline for the end of the year to find a solution, but it may not be that simple. Hospitals also have to agree, and different hospitals have different ideas. Right now, there are 7 different proposals that need to be hammered into one by the year's end. And there's another problem. In addition to the cost, which the government puts at over $250 million, there'll need to be a lot of new nurses, around 8,000. New nurses are most attracted to high-paying urban hospitals. Rural hospitals, already understaffed, worry about how they'll get the staff they need.
这些山地、离岛、偏远地区，马上面临到招不到人，就会关床的 这个窘境，那关床以后，当地的医疗就会造成很大的困扰。
All these are issues that need a quick resolution if the government's timetable of next year is to go ahead. Dolphine Chen, John Van Trieste and Sally Ensign for TaiwanPlus.
Taiwan's October export orders fell by more than 4% on the same month last year. It's the 14th straight month of year-on-year declines. But the Economy Ministry says a turnaround next year is possible due to demand for the country's AI technology.
景气的循环上升，以及台湾科技的发展，AI 的发展，对台湾的 GDP 明年有这个3%的成长，是这个机会是非常大的。
U.S. military aid promised to Taiwan in 2023 is starting to arrive in the country. But critics say some of the small arms in the package will only be useful during a war and do nothing to deter one. Bryn Thomas takes a look at what's being added to the country's war chest.
Part of a U.S. military aid package is arriving in Taiwan. The country is now adding thousands of machine guns and sets of combat gear to its arsenal. This shipment of small arms comes after Taiwan received surveillance drones, Javelin anti-tank missiles, and Stinger anti-aircraft missiles earlier this year.
数量啊，这个单一啊，或者这个品名啊，我不便透露啊。但有工作的持续在进行，我想这也是交流的项目之一。 并没有想要刻意武装。
But some fear a shipment of small arms will do little to deter a Chinese invasion. China views Taiwan as part of its territory and has not ruled out the use of force to take the country. Key defense figures in Taiwan say things like machine guns, body armor, and shoulder-fired missiles are weapon systems used in up-close fighting and would only be useful after an invasion in on-the-ground fighting in Taiwan's cities. They say Taiwan needs to be able to disrupt attacks before they start. This means more strategic capabilities, like long-range missiles capable of hitting targets abroad.
短中程的地对地的飞弹，我认为这个必须要对重点目标给它做摧毁。它还要集结，它要后撤集结，它不是前进集结，可能到浙江，可能到广东，可能到江西去集结。那我们的战略的缓冲的空间就大了，战略的预举时间也就长了。
The debate over the types of weapons needed comes despite Chinese President Xi Jinping saying he has no plans to take military action against Taiwan. Xi denied reports of a proposed invasion in either 2027 or 2035 in a meeting with U.S. President Joe Biden at the APEC Leaders Summit last week. Taiwan's defense ministry insists it's ready regardless.
不会因为他讲的一句话，就把目标转到2023、2025、2027、2035。渐进备战它没有停的，国军渐进备战，它主要目的就避战，但这个避不是逃避的避。 就避免发生战端。
As cross-strait tensions rise, Taiwan will continue to seek ways to deter an attack and to stock its arsenal with weapons it hopes it will never have to use. John Su and Bryn Thomas for TaiwanPlus.
Taiwan is cracking down on outdoor smoking to reduce harm from secondhand smoke. The Health Ministry has extended smoking bans to more than 160 outdoor spaces. This includes national parks, forest recreational areas, and other green spaces. Smoking is only allowed in designated areas. Violators could be fined up to $300 US. Famed author Tsai Ming-liang may be in line for his 6th Golden Horse Award and 2nd Top Documentary Award this year for his new film, Where. Tiffany Wong spoke with him to learn more about his work.
Amidst the hustle and bustle of Paris, a monk dressed in red robes takes life one step at a time. Where is the 9th film in Malaysian director Tsai Ming-liang's Walker series. Each film follows a monk, actor Li Kangsheng, stepping carefully through city streets spanning a decade. Conceptually, each artwork might appear to be the same, down to the subjects, the director's muses who have each starred in multiple of Tsai's films. But the director says markers set each film apart.
每一个背景里面的一些人事啊、物啊，其实都有一些落差啊。每个地方的对行者的反应都不同。比如说里面的人啊，比如说巴黎的人就特别的会靠近他，有些地方是跟他很疏离的，所以每个地方都不太一样。
Another one of his films screening at the Golden Horse Film Festival in Taipei this year is Days, which depicts the quiet moment when two men's lives intersect in a similarly drawn-out style. The older man struggles with an illness, while the younger man toils through life as a migrant worker. Tsai says that while the slow pace of the films might not be to everyone's taste, he hopes audiences will reflect on the busyness of their lives and re-examine the ordinary.
有人看完日子，他说他等红绿灯，突然间觉得那个红绿灯没有那么烦，为什么？因为他愿意安静下来一下，就没有那么赶。其实生命就是这么长这么短，你再赶你也赶不到哪里去。我觉得，不如好好的欣赏沿路的风光。
Tsai's films are renowned for depicting everyday objects as art. Likewise, an exhibition of the filmmaker's work in Taipei is filled with carefully placed items. Comfy, worn chairs are scattered throughout the space, allowing viewers to take a seat as if relaxing in their own living room. Paintings of his muses stand propped against the walls, which are scrawled with Tsai's diary entries. By depicting ordinary things, the director hopes to give everyone the freedom to interpret his work as they want.
我的作品已经呈现在这边，而且不是一个难的作品，是一个非常生活、贴近生活的一个呈现观众应该很容易懂的。如果是这样，这个每一个东西都要有意义，我觉得是没有必要的。 一定要说得那么清楚，真的是也没有必要的。
And where will the series continue? Tsai isn't so sure. Wherever the monk chooses, he'll follow. Where is up for Best Documentary at the Golden Horse Awards this Saturday in Taipei. Scott Huang, Luffy Li, Yujing Huang, and Tiffany Wong for TaiwanPlus.
For more on director Tsai Ming-liang and his films, check out our mini documentary, The Pursuit of a Cinematic Dream, exclusively on the TaiwanPlus website. You can also watch 3 of his earliest films there. Sumo wrestling in Japan is traditionally a sport for men, but women do participate at the amateur level. I was in Tokyo to meet a female sumo wrestler and understand the challenges she faces. Training with a wind board with power and precision. This is 20-year-old Hasagawa Ryo, a member of a sumo club at Kyoto University in Tokyo. She joined in 2022, becoming the first ever female member since the club was established over a century ago.
うちの兄2人が最初相撲をやってて、で兄弟の中で結構ちっちゃい頃すごい元気だったので、そのまま父に道場に連れてかれて始めることになりました。
Ryo joined the sport because of her family and has their full support. But it hasn't been easy for her to get to where she is today. Her journey was made harder because sumo wrestling is traditionally a sport for men in Japan. It was only in 1997 when the first amateur tournament for women happened. Female wrestlers started getting more recognition after that.
なんか昔は結構そういうなんだろうな、女の子なのに相撲してることをちょっとよく思われないこととかもあって、やっぱなんかこう男子の中で一人でやってることをよく思わない人とかなんかいたので、なかなかこう受け入れてもらえないかなと思ってたんですけど、なんか自分でこう突き進めていったら。
Instead of trying to convince the doubters, Ryo chooses to prove her professionalism and seriousness in the ring. Her performance has already won the respect of some other sumo wrestlers.
ものすごい強いんで、できるもう本当すごい尊敬できる先輩でもあって、すごい自分も戦いたいって思える相手であります。
Ryo undergoes the exact same training as men in the club, which is sometimes challenging for her. However, that does not stop her from pursuing her ultimate goal.
なんか私は自分で相撲なんだろうな、昔は結構大人の意思というかやりなさいって言われたから相撲やってたんですけど、今は自分で強くなりたいと思って世界一になりたいと思って。
Ryo is not the only one with that dream. Female wrestlers from Taiwan have also journeyed to Japan to prove they've got what it takes to win in the ring.
我觉得女生也可以，对吧？因为现在其实都是算是男女平等的，对啊。之前可能是因为相扑，他们就是有一些观念，可能他们会觉得女生不能到图表上面，但是我觉得现在观念可能比较改变。
But while there's growing interest in the sport among women, female wrestlers are divided on going professional.
就是觉得可以平等，就不一定有些项目只有男生，其实女生也可以。
大相撲って今相撲界でプロって言われてる世界はやっぱりアマチュアとはなんだろうな、そもそものこのなんていうんですかね、ものが全然違うと思っているので、そこに女子が入るっていうのはあんまりこう私個人としては望んでなくて。
These athletes are divided on what path they want to take in the sport, but their shared passion keeps them fighting the same battle, both inside and outside the ring. The highest altitude train station in Taiwan is welcoming visitors to a famed scenic spot once again. Part of the Alishan Forest Railway, Zhushan Station, stands at an altitude of over 2,400 meters. It's the tallest point on the over 100-year-old rail line built during the Japanese colonial era. Originally used to transport wood, the train is now a popular tourist stop in southern Taiwan. Thank you for watching What's Up Taiwan. You can visit the TaiwanPlus website or follow our social media for more stories from Taiwan and around the world. Finally, check out these jungle animals on display in a new light exhibition in Paris. I'm Sanny Chi, take care and see you next time.